Tell and write time from analog and digital clocks to the nearest 5 minutes using AM and PM. Standard 2MD.C.7, 2nd grade, Miss Wiedemann. Learning goal. This lesson will teach students to tell and write time. At the end of this lesson, they will be able to tell time from an analog and digital clock to the nearest 5 minutes using both AM and PM. A summary. Students will learn to tell and write time from both an analog and digital clock to the nearest 5 minutes using AM and PM. This will allow students to tell time anywhere they are at any time of the day. The first example we're looking at is an analog clock. If you look here, the red indicates that is the long hand, which is the minute hand on the analog clock. The short hand is the hour hand, which is the green. When looking at the analog clock, we see that there is two pointers here. One is red and one is green. There are 60 minutes on the clock face, so the minute hand is the long hand. So here's our long hand, and if you look, we have 60, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Those are our minutes. We count from 12 to 1 is 5 minutes. So we're going to count by fives. The next we look at is count the numbers on the clock. If you count the big bold letter numbers on the clock, there's 12. So we know that there's 12 hours in one analog clock. Thus, the time right now is 3 o'clock because the 12 indicates an hour. So, exactly, this example. In this case, we have that the hour hand is pointing to the 3, and the minute hand is pointing to this 12. So we know that it is 3 o'clock. Let's practice. We see that the hour hand is pointing directly at the 1, and the minute hand is pointing at the 5. With knowing this, we know that since this is at the 1 and this is at the 5, that the hour is 1, and if we count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, we know that it is 1:25. Let's practice some more. Looking at this clock, we see that the hour hand is right in between the 12 and the 1, and the minute hand is directly pointing at this 8. This indicates that it is almost 1 o'clock because the hour hand is not directly on the 12, but not directly on 1. This is because it is at 40 for minutes. So this shows us that this time is 12:40. Now let's learn the digital clock. If you look at this example, it's similar to the analog clock, but it actually tells us the exact time. We read this a little bit differently. The hours are on the left side of these colons right here, and the minutes are on the right side. So we would read this as 3:30. So it's 3:30. Now we are going to practice. Right here is where the hours are, and to the right is the minutes. So what time is this? That says it is 3 in the hours and 45 in the minutes, thus reading 3:45. We're going to practice here one more time. Right here, we have the hours, so it's 11, and right here is the minutes. So what time does that say? It's 11 in the hours and 0 in the minutes, so it's 11 o'clock. Thank you for taking the time to listen and watch this video. I hope that you all are experts on telling and writing time from both an analog and digital clock from the nearest 5 minutes using both AM and PM.